Hi everybody, this video is our 3-month update. We've been on the road for a whole 3 months now.
Yeah, you know you've really arrived when you go out to dinner and you use the restroom and you find yourself scraping your right foot down the toilet trying to flush it.
Oh, good Lord. Hi, I'm Sandy.
And I'm Ed.
And this is General, our totally awesome water dog.
We used to live on the Outer Banks in North Carolina, but one day we found both of ourselves unemployed.
So we decided to take a chance. We sold everything, bought a trailer, and left to explore America. We're learning as we go along, but we still make mistakes.
But we get a lot of things right too. So come join us as we learn to RV full-time, explore America, and share in our exciting journey of discovery.
Our next adventure is just over the hill.
Hi everybody.
Hi.
Well, this is the one we've been wanting to do for some time, but we've just been so busy we haven't got to do it as quickly as we wanted to. We wanted to let you all know we've made some mistakes. We have some tips for you, and we got some problems, and if you've got advice on them, we'd love to hear it. We got a kitchen dinette set, and we'll throw some pictures in, I think, too, so you can see what's going on. But we stayed with the original kitchen dinette set, and the reason was it has all the storage under the seats. Originally, we had seen what some other folks had done, and we were going to put in a countertop and have our rolly desk chairs from home up there, and we thought that'd be a wonderful thing. And the more we kept thinking about it, the added weight and really the storage we would lose. There's a ton of storage underneath these seats. So it turned out to be a great decision, but we didn't quite think it through.
So the original cushions on the dinette set were only like maybe 3 inches thick, and they were already worn out. And we had talked before we left about getting new foam to put in those cushions to kind of prop them up a little bit, but we never got around to it. So we went to Walmart and we bought these cushions that are supposed to be for outside chairs. And the fabric was really cool, but the cushion that they put in them it went flat within like 3 or 4 days. It was a mess. So luckily we were in an area that we were able to find a fabric shop that had foam for sale. So we got some good high density 5-inch foam and shoved it in these the fabric that we had bought at Walmart for these cushions, and it's been fine for us ever since. So they're not full size cushions, and yeah, we'll show you a picture so you can see what it looks like, but it gives us room on the end of the dinette to store our stuff that we use on a regular basis and kind of keep it out of the way. So it's really worked out good.
Yeah, it has. And our needs are, I don't know, maybe we're just a little quirky. You know, we don't need elaborate. We just need functional. And there's money considerations too. We're on a budget. So, like Sandy says, we just put everything off to the side. The cushions don't cover, and it works great for us. But wish we would have gotten the heavy density foam long before that. And we should have known better because other people on YouTube had already addressed that problem. Don't you make that mistake if you hit the road. And the next is kind of a problem. And maybe somebody out there, you all can help us solve it. Google and Garmin, they're not infallible.
No, neither one of them is. They both have their issues. Yeah.
And I think here's the problem we ran into. We don't seem to be able to find any settings in Google. If you want to pick the best routes, if you're riding a bicycle, it's got that, or you're walking. It does not address if you want to stay on the major highways. It's focused on the shortest distance between point A and point B, and if that means taking you down a dirt road past St. Andrew's Church out in the middle of nowhere, it's going to do that. And Garmin does the same thing. And now Garmin has a solution. They have a model that they offer that's just for RVs that you can set all up. Well, we already spent, I don't know what, $300-400 on a Garmin unit, and when you look at them, they're the same thing. I mean, come on, Garmin, just give us a software update, or Google, one of you or both of you, that we can say we want to stay on the major highways. We don't need to buy more hardware. We just need a software update that you can choose. Do you want to stay on major highways? I think that'd be
because Garmin actually had a setting that said to stay off of dirt roads, and we set that to keep us off of dirt roads, but apparently it doesn't know all the roads that are dirt and all the roads that are paved, because it sent us down dirt roads a few times, and when we're trying to haul the trailer, that's not doable at all.
No. But the plus side, I think they're invaluable to have.
You got to have something. Absolutely.
It just helps you out so much, finding places near you when you're in need of something, and it helps you plan the route. I guess that the tip to this all would be they're not infallible, so really look it over when you set your route. Just don't hit directions and twist the key.
Yeah, you got to look at where it's trying to send you.
And if we've missed something, if someone out there knows, no, guys, here's what you need to do to solve that problem, please tell us. Please tell us how to solve that problem. It can be troublesome.
Yeah.
All right, and Sandy has a tip about mail.
Mail service. Okay, we've tried mail service every which way to Sunday now. The first time we were getting mail delivered to us, we had it go to the post office, and I just picked a zip code that was closest to us and that I figured we could get to easily, and it turns out that it was I don't know what you want to call it, like a subsidiary to...
Well, it was a smaller post office, and they told us they didn't accept general delivery.
They didn't accept a general delivery, so they sent everything that came in as general delivery, they sent it to the main post office downtown, and our mail was there. We went to pick it up, and our mail was there. But it was just that little extra trip that we weren't expecting to take to get our mail. We have also had our mail delivered to the campsite, and one campsite worked really good. They had the stuff there when we checked in, we picked it up, we were good to go. The next campsite we tried to do that at, our package got delivered to the laundry room, which wasn't locked. Anybody could have grabbed it, so that didn't set very well with us. And one other time that I asked the campground owner when we made our reservation, can I get some packages delivered and how would you like us to do that? And he said, use our post office box. You can do that and I'll bring it to you and everything will be fine. Well, he brought it to us like 3 days later than when it actually arrived. So we've had problems with all three of them. I think probably, in my mind, my favorite is to have it go to the post office, because it's gonna be there, it's gonna be locked up, they're taking care of it, and you can go pick it up during office hours, and everything should be fine. So whether we picked the wrong post office and we should have picked a different one, either way, it's there and it's going to be waiting for you somewhere. So
that's true. And then the only other thought I would have is, Sandy and I had talked about if we call a post office that we're targeting to get general delivery mail to, just to make sure they accept the general delivery there.
And that was another problem that I had, though. I tried to call one post office and the phone rang 30 times and nobody ever answered the phone. So there's always something. But yeah, if you can get a hold of somebody and find out that that's actually the address that you should use, that would be definitely helpful. But yeah, we're for the post office.
For the post office. And the next item is a mistake, and it's mine, and it was a big one.
I don't make mistakes.
No. What we did is we got to a campsite. The campsite owner was helping us set up because it was very on level site, and God bless him for doing that. but it just kind of threw my routine. And somewhere along the line, I left the hitch pin and the connecting pin sitting in the divot for the bumper, and never caught that. Drove off somewhere along the line, lost them. Did not know that until the end of our stay, and I'm getting ready to hitch everything up and realize I'm missing the hitch pin and the connecting pin. So I had to stop what I was doing, run to Walmart, and Walmart had a less than desirable one that had a lock on it. It's just a pain in the tail to use, and it was more money. So I costed some money on that one, and my fix is, well, Sandy found the original type of hitch pin that we had, and we can show you that and why we like it. And the other thing was, I had to develop better habits on how I store those pins. And basically what it is, I put it in the hitch, the trailer hitch itself, snap it together when I'm putting it in the back of the bed of the pickup truck. We don't run around with our recurve system hitched into the back of the receiver. It's just, those things can kill your shins.
Yeah, it's not going to hit anybody except for my knees. Yeah. And
the next one is a tip. I'll take the first one here. We watched videos on carpeting, and it's all vinyl in here. It's just that rolled down vinyl. And for our little fur baby General, he can't deal with it. He slides all over the place. He can't even really sit. He just slides. So, but do we really want to make a template and try and get all this carpeting in? I had the thought to go to Walmart. Sandy ran and did it. And what we did is we just bought bathroom carpeting, the throw rugs. We've got the different sizes, and they're all the same color. They got a foam back on them. They don't move. And we've got General, and he's a lab, and he sheds. And plus all the dirt and everything to track in. So what we found is on laundry day, like at larger laundromats, they can pack these things up, and I just take them down there, throw them through an industrial washer dryer. We come back and we put them in place, and we're good to go. And when they eventually wear out, well, we'll just stop at Walmart and get some more. The whole total, what did it come to?
It was less than $100.
So less than $100
to carpet the entire trailer.
It solved our problem, and we can always change the color later on
in
case we get into a fashion crisis. So that was a pretty good one, I thought. That worked well.
Next tip is to get cash back at retail stores to avoid the ATM charges at the machines.
She's smart. I did not know that. I had no clue, but.
So Walmart is our friend, definitely. Whenever I go shopping at Walmart, I get cash back in large amounts too. And generally I go through the self-checkout anyway, and it just pops the money out at you. So it's been working really good. We do want to keep some cash with us at all times. Some of these campsites, for whatever reason, want to be paid in cash, and there's some other, places that you just kind of want it. So you're not using your card all the time. So that's worked out really good for us.
Yeah, it has. And I don't know why they want cash either. I mean, it reminds me of the old motels. I mean, I'm not trying to bash the campgrounds, but you ever walk into the old seedy motels, you just need a room, and it says no refunds after 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, like, okay, it's going to be a fun stay.
And McDonald's for killer Wi-Fi, sometimes. The first McDonald's I went to, when I needed to upload a video, it had awesome Wi-Fi. It was totally awesome. And I had found this list online of the chain restaurants that offer free Wi-Fi service. And of course, it's an open network. It's not secured at all. But McDonald's was touted as having the best Wi-Fi out of all the chain restaurants. So I went to one, it worked. We went to another one in a different city, and it didn't work. But I think probably overall that's going to be the place to go, because all the other ones are just going to be a lot slower. So definitely recommend trying a McDonald's first.
That's good. And my next one would be a 50 amp to 30 amp receptacle adapter. That thing, well, we bought it because we got to a campsite and it didn't work. And I think I went over it once in a camp review, but I can't stress it enough, because the campsite, guys, that we're at right now, I went to plug into the 30 amp service, and the breaker is just so weak it would stay on, and everything read fine. It didn't have a short or an open ground or a reverse polarity. Everything was fine. But I could stand there and hold my finger up. So I on the breaker. So I went and I got the adapter, plugged into the 50 amp side service, and we're good to go. So I would. We never thought of getting one, because we always thought, well, you know, we just asked if the service has. We just check to make sure they have 30 amp service, but. It gives you versatility. You definitely get one for the $15 at Walmart, our favorite place.
Yeah, definitely want the versatility, because we did actually go to a campground and he plugged into the 50 amp right off the bat, just thinking that it would be better and cleaner and everything. But actually the 50 amp didn't work, and we had to use the 30 amp on that particular campsite. So yeah. Definitely do want versatility. Yeah, that's not going to help the big rigs that, you know, really need the 50 amps to run the 2 air conditioners, but
well, bless her
at
heart,
least you could do something.
She's saying, you know, I was thinking it was cleaner. No, I was just being lazy, because the 50
it
amp
was already connected.
It was at 50 amp. I had already left the adapter on the end of the service plug, and I put it in and realized this thing's got an open ground. So then I pulled it off and switched over to the 30 amp, and I was good to go. Thanks for trying to cover me on that. Well, I'll just be honest with you.
Just want to have all your bases covered. Make sure you're prepared for every situation that you run into. And disc lights from Walmart. We're going to show you a picture of this, because these things are awesome. We've actually been having trouble with some of our ceiling lights here in the camper. And the disc lights, you can get a package of 2 of them for less than $10 at Walmart. They have a sticky tape on the back. You stick them up where you need them to. And they have a little touch thing. When you run your finger over the spot, it turns on and turns off. These have been awesome. They put out a lot more light, but they're not really what I would consider to be bright. We have a couple of them over the couch because it makes reading easier. We put a couple of them under the stove hood, because the light that was in there just was not putting off any light at all. So these make it a lot easier to see. And inside the cupboards, and when you're trying to get your pots and pans, and they've moved clear back in the back corner where you can't see them, yeah, it makes it a lot easier to find stuff, and a cheap fix. Really awesome.
And I would just expand on that just a little bit. The one thing that you can't really fix, I mean, the existing lights. Well, we bought LED replacements and replaced them all. They use less power, all those things. But the placement of the lights, I you know, they've put them in areas that I think are less functional than they are just trying to fit the symmetrics of the trailer. Mm-hmm. So like the light that is on over the couch, if you turn it on, it's not going to light a book up. It's too far forward. It's not going to light up the pages you're reading. It lights up your face. Yeah. And I had a trouble with the existing light for the vent hood over the stove, where it would just keep turning off and on. I tried to troubleshoot it until the cows come home. It's something to do with the switch, and you know, I don't know. I checked the wires, everything I could think of. And I got tired of beating my head against the wall and just putting this puck light up and touching it when I need light on the stove. There you go. So yes, the puck lights are fantastic. You can't get enough of them. And moving day. Well, who likes to move? Nobody likes moving day.
Can't stand it.
But what we've learned over time is we're starting to develop a routine and get it in order. We love the idea that we each check our work. Sandy takes the inside, I do the outside, the grunt work, but then we check each other. And that's something I would highly recommend.
Mm-hmm.
But we wound up over time changing the procedure. Our particular travel trailer, the 29-foot Bullet, has just one slide out, but it's right over top of, so we have 2 freshwater dumps, gray water dumps and a black water dump. And they're right over top. You can bang your head on that thing too, So making sure the slide goes in, and then I'm dealing with the dumps. And I'm talking at a full hookup site, yeah. Because, we just figured we would do that last. And, you want to get the slide in. And, of course, if you're going to a dump station, well, obviously the slide's already in. But me being me, it took me some time to wake up and realize we needed to do that.
So we got our disassembly process down under an hour and a half, which I think is really good for us because it used to take us quite some time. But yeah, we're getting the routine down.
Yeah, and maybe some people would think, an hour and a half's a lot of time.
If it is, let us know, and we'll keep working on it.
But I do things like I get a ladder out of what we call our basement, and I go up and I check the slide to make sure that there's nothing up there before everything goes back. And when we bring the awning in, I want to make sure Sandy scoots it along, inches it along, and I make sure that everything's wiped off the top of it. So I think we're doing some things that maybe other folks don't do.
Yeah, I mean, he's checking the lug nuts and the tire pressures and greasing the hitch, the recurve hitch and stuff like that too. So yeah, we probably do maybe a little bit more than other people do.
And I'm going to break here just for a second to go back to something that popped into my mind on laundry. And Sandy and I were talking about this morning. We stay at campsites that have available laundry service, and sometimes not. And in those cases, I would run to the laundromat. And I personally want to do that because I don't want Sandy going into an unknown situation at a laundromat. I'll do the laundry. And guys are capable of doing that.
Yes, they are. He does a good job.
Once they've been taught. And really, honestly, we're finding it's better to go to the laundromat. You have more machines available to you. You're not irritating anybody. I mean, when I was I loaded 3 washing machines up, knocked everything out, 4 dryers. They usually have industrial or commercial grade, and which is great if it's a week that I want to do the carpeting. And in the campsites, you can get into, well, there's 2 washers, there's 2 dryers. Everybody's trying to do their laundry, and it just can create a little tension sometimes, and we don't.
Every single time that we've tried to use a campground laundry, we have gotten the feeling that we're really in other people's way. So, yeah, not our favorite thing to do. No.
And I guess lastly, so overall, how do we feel now that we've been on the road for going on 4 months? We love it, and we've been talking about we're planning on going and staying with relatives around Thanksgiving, but we're running around too much and having a good time. I don't know whether we're going to make it or not. And Guy, I'm sorry, honey, when you see this, but I'll let you know before then, okay? It's just really good. Little quirky things like now we're Southern transplants, love the South, and the foods and the drinks, and we finally after running up north, we hit a place where they do not know what sweet tea is, and the solution is, well, we'll make some tea, put ice in the cup, and then you can put sugar in it. It's not sweet tea. It doesn't work that way. You have to. But on the other hand, we get to go to different areas, and we're trying all this different food and drink that we haven't had before, which is fun. We had
Caribbean, yeah,
and it was really a good food. So it's expanded our abilities, but I also have seen chunks of bologna in
And a can with hot sauce.
Yeah. But we like it. We're enjoying it a lot. And you know, it's just Sandy and I. So the disclaimer, which I should have said before, is after all this time, our travel trailer works great for us. We don't need anything better. And you made a good point, Sandy, when you said if we would have had more resources, if we would have had more money, we would have bought a big fifth wheel rig, we would have bought a bigger truck, and we wouldn't be happy.
We wouldn't be happy at all with that. No.
And I think that's very true. We like staying in state parks when we can. Again, we got to watch our money. I got the senior pass, $10 a night, and I know other people say, well, you know, I can't get in there, but that's actually a plus for me because that means I have to stay outside of the state park out in town, and I get to enjoy that too. Well, hey, we unhook our travel trailer. We drive to we go to those towns too. I personally think going into the state parks is a great advantage financially, and so we're not disenchanted with our travel trailer in the least. We've actually made changes so that we have more storage now because I've gotten rid of some things that we brought that we thought we were going to need that we don't. And so we're actually lightening our load as we go. But on being the life of Riley,
we're busy.
Busy. It's not what we really thought initially. I mean, and because we have to balance our time between what we want to do for you all, what we want to see. We got to watch our budget. We got scheduling, all those things. We got laundry day. But we also have our fur baby General. And this is a trip of a lifetime for him. I want him to have a great time. I want him to just have the time of his life. So we always make sure we got time for General. And if it disrupts, he's got a schedule. I'm going to take him out at the same time or very close to it. He gets fed at the same time. He gets a certain amount of walks. It's just the way we roll. So I think that kind of covers everything.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry this is a long video. We're coming up on almost 30 minutes. But we wanted to make sure that we got everything to you that we thought might be helpful to you. And again, we got some problems. So if you got a solution out there for the Garmin or the Google Map thing, got some tips for us, we would love to hear from you. And if you've got some tips for us overall of things you'd like to see us do, we'd like to hear those too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So we appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time around.
See ya.
Bye.